Yo, it's ODB from OLP. This is issue 73 of Mini Truckin' Magazine, January 98. It kicks off really another awesome year of the magazine, from features to covers. And this one is jam-packed with a lot of content, about 4 features or so. We'll jump into that. I would remind you, if you go to ourlifestylepodcast.com, you can buy the stickers. Our sticker looks similar to this. It doesn't say magazine on it. Paying homage to the original Mini Truckin' stickers. You could buy these. And we have shirts. We have skate decks. We have banners. And that's all on sale right now. ourlifestylepodcast.com. Show some love and place an order, even if it's just for a couple stickers. All right, so I have 2 issues of this January 98, and I will tell you, my other issue also has a problem. It has the missing cover, okay? I don't know what it is, but some magazines, I don't know if you guys can chime in if you have this one, some were more prone, I believe, for the covers to rip off. And this one, I forget where it came from, but you can see, a piece of tape. I got a little lingering cough here that's annoying. But you got a piece of tape here, and this one's not perfect by any means, but I did need one with a cover, and I have that. You got to excuse my little cough here. Feeling 100%, but have that leftover cough that definitely is annoying. Now, a couple things with this one. Wes Allison shoots it. It's got CEC wheels. And Wes had, although he doesn't seem to be very active, at least on Instagram, Wes Allison had commented prior that there was a fire during the shoot, and that somewhat caused a challenge that day. So I don't know if anybody has intel on that. Obviously, I like to get the stories out behind the scenes, and that's one that that kind of comes to mind here with this one. This one is West Coast Custom. So if you think about it, they had 4 covers over a good span. We'll talk more about that in the future, but you've got that windshield banner there. That's enough with the cover. Let's jump right in. So you have this ad ran a good bit here for the plug wires. You can see about 4 features there, although there is a Road to SEMA update with Tom Lutz, some tech, tons of event coverage. I mean, check this out, including the 8th annual Mini Truck Nats, Sitting Pretty. Shout out to Craig, Braid, and family up at Sitting Pretty up Pacific Northwest. Indy Truck Bash, Cal Truck Jam. I mean, from a show coverage perspective, I mean, a damn good issue. Here you've got the pull-out calendar, which I do believe mine is missing. If anybody has one that they'd like to contribute or trade an issue or 2 for, I would appreciate that. I do not have that calendar. The first issue of the year brings in Kevin Vires, V-I-R-E-S. Is that how you say it? Ground Scraping 95 toy to the public's attention. Of course, Wes Allison. And then you see some of the kind of photos here to showcase, including this Epic S10. I have been looking forward to kicking off this year, and appreciate all the support that we get from everyone. 1997, the year in review. So you had the editors begin to kind of chime in and do their year in review, very much like what we do. But they were going through everything. Excuse me. Looks like Sharks is on the right there. And they're flipping through the magazine. Pretty cool photo. Got an airplane. They had their issues with them, didn't they? Pretty cool. And you got the Godfather Customs. I have been doing flip-throughs for Truckin', so it's just highlighting some of the features and other magazines, so please, if you can't, subscribe. 8th Annual Mini Truck Nats. Back in the day, you could see there, Masses Gather in Pigeon Forge. That's where the show was at, for those that don't know. Here you have the Isuzu. I believe someone had reminded me that this was the guy that had the Suburban. Was it Jake Mooney? Was that his? Someone can kind of chime in. Some of the guys have been really, mentioning that, or mentioning different facts and stuff. So thanks again for chiming in. This is pretty cool. Talk about reading material. Had some of the issues there. couldn't really leave those out these days. Seems like people would just maybe walk off with them. So here you have Cal Concepts and Air Syndicate. So we've had Craig, we've had Dion, we've had K-Daddy on, and you can see the original kind of guys there. We've had Lambie on as well. He works there. And this is some good behind-the-scenes stuff for anybody that hasn't seen this issue. You see Last Look there. K-Daddy doing the work. I'm trying to tell what truck that is. Pretty cool. You can kind of line a lot of this stuff up with the trucks that were being shot at the time. Being that this was 98. It's like, I'm looking, is that Mike Kaufman's truck that was on the First Street Trucks? But pretty cool here, you know, the history and these tech articles. This one's by Tom Lutz, or Shop Tour rather, for that one. You know, again, gives a little bit of insight into the crew, the trucks they were working on at that time. We exclusively have some video from a VHS player, from a VHS recorder rather, from their famous open house, which I forget. When I posted, I always mentioned the date. It was like summer 88 or 98 or 98 or 99. And Courtney, rest in peace, he was there. And it's pretty cool to have that stuff again, because there's not a lot of video from that era. So Too Sour, this one's off the hook. I remember reading this feature over and over again, and then of course it appeared on the cover later on. But what an epic truck. When we had Johnny Garage Johnson on, this guy's name came up. And many of you know of the name Lenny Groover. I sometimes pronounce it incorrectly. Instead of a V, my brain thinks B, but it's Lenny Groover. The truck was several different stages, including people have reminded me it was white in the beginning, and I think it had fender skirts on the back. True OG, my understanding is he still has this truck. Of course, it looks different than this because it was redone and landed on the cover. Something a little bit different on all of his builds, it seemed. Check out the tail on top of the topper. You get the chrome surround on the back there. And just a really awesome truck. Super low, green, 3.5-inch body drop or so. I love that it had the sliding rag in the topper, so boom, and then it had, with the walkthrough, kind of that whole Blazer feel. Seats recline back. Some engine cover treatment deals there. Badass box. Just really, really, really awesome. Running some 16s. The Image Trios. Throwback. Who remembers that truck? Anybody see it in person? I tend to forget. I almost wanted to make a list of how many cover trucks I've saw in person now. When you start thinking about them, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen a lot. And then you probably go, well, on a 269, really. But I did see that truck in person at SEMA. I had went to SEMA like 03 or 04. And that was the first time I went. And I didn't go again for another 10, 11 years. But it was pretty cool to see it in person. And luckily I had a digital camera then. It was my dad's, and I didn't have much memory, so I don't have a lot of photos from that SEMA. But here's Road to SEMA. Speaking of SEMA, Road to SEMA update, and none other than a Mozdog. Check that out. 4x4 bed. Those are super rare. Shout out to Mini Garage. I got to get caught up. I think Jeff posted a new video, and I do need to watch that. I think it's on my watch list. But Jeff, Geoff, Jeff, he is the man for your Mazda parts. Hit him up. He's on Instagram, but he's on Facebook as well. Look up Jeff Mini Garage. Good dude. I need to be buying some parts from him soon for a Mazda. Okay, so Indy Truck Bash 97. Just really killer layout. I love, some of the colors they did on some of the layouts to change them up. Just a sea of vehicles. Again, I did get a chance to go to the show. My buddy Russ and I at the time, we went like 0102. Couldn't believe the quality of vehicles here, just finished trucks. And you can see here some pretty cool photos. You got the Blazer hitting 3-wheel motion, taking a sip of the potion, of course, first, right? That's not DJ Mays, I don't think. Shout out to DJ Mays, man. He's still doing sets. Look him up on Twitch, DJ Mays Radio. You'll get a notification when they go live. So, you know, these couple famous trucks. And the Rangers, you see the Nissan there, topless. So, Lethal Injection, the one that ended up on the cover with the Mustang dash, right? That the Fiend owns now, that has all of them. And this one became the red one, or is that complete? I always get confused on that, because when I think of the complete West Virginia, I think of no topper. But 3 epic Rangers. And then look, even in the background, you got some gems going on. Looks like an S10 from the body lines. Topless. Dude. I need to post more on my Instagram. Live life topless. I tag it all the time, from Lincolns to trucks to minis, you know, whatever. But yeah, so was that Jake Mooney's drop zone? This truck always stuck out to me. I mean, it just was super clean. I love how they did the kind of the walkthrough there, step up, and then you got the sound system in there, graphics, wheels, under the hood, super awesome. You got an S10 lifted. Don't see those very often like that with that body style. That hood, that what do they call it? The cow, though. Look at that thing, crazy. Super clean Mazda. A lot of quality at this show. Courtney wrote about in Street Trucks early 2000s a little bit of why the name changed from Indy Truck Bash to ITB. And from what I recall, again, reading the magazines and even revisiting it not too long ago, that it had to do with, I believe, the Indianapolis 500 or something to do with Indy. The name was too close. So it reminds me of when Street Scene first came out, the online website. Then you guys will remember they went to Street Source. I do believe they had received some sort of cease and desist because it was too close of a name to a magazine. It's like a hot rod magazine, and that's why, for those that don't know, the name of Street Source went from Street Scene to Street Source, and Indy Truck Bash went from Indy Truck Bash to ITB. There's Cope's van on Auto Sound and Security. Same feature ran on the cover. And I did find the Truckin' the other day. I think when I was going over this issue, I said, didn't it run in Truckin'? It also did. So you had Auto Sound and Security cover, Mini Truckin' cover, Truckin' feature, again, all from the one. And then I don't know if it ended up in another magazine, but I do know Bill from Extensive, his orange van, it did end up in another stereo magazine because I had that issue. Got swiped from my desk years ago. Okay, I stand corrected. I do have the calendar. I could not remember. West Coast Trend, so very cool. And Wes Allison, man. I mean, look at the reflection and the colors of the building behind it. I mean, just that's right there. I mean, I'd love to have, without the calendar, just that framed. Fire. West Coast Trend. So it kind of ties it into West Coast Customs. You got a Modern Image logo in the back. See there, super clean. Got some hydraulics, clean engine bay. I mean, this is what you'd see on a nice, clean cover truck in that era. You got the stripes. Anybody remember this truck? Is it still around? Does he still own it? Is there any intel to the fire that Wes... Now, I always take some of those things with a grain of salt if I can't confirm it. Only because, you know, sometimes people's memories, you know, maybe Wes was thinking of another truck. I've had it before where somebody, you know, said, hey, such and such happened. And then, you know, we find out, oh, no, you know what? That was a different truck. So I am, you know... I don't want to say skeptical, but, you know, I'm assuming it is true. But you go, again, not an issue whatsoever, but it's just, you know, the little bit of, you know, intel behind the feature to me is, you know, especially all these years later, is just kind of cool. So shout out to Sitting Pretty, became good friends with Craig Braid. I call him CB Cooper. If you listen to the podcast, of course, he helped Randy out driving a far distance recently to get a flex window which I thought was pretty cool. Craig's always looking out when he flies in the shows. He helps us. There's a lot of nice trucks up in this area, especially we had Cliff on. We talked about some of the Toyotas and Mazdas, but I mean, look at these. Just, man, decent sized wheel, nice little rubber on it. Look at the bed, just sick. Sitting pretty. Four. Cal Truck Jam, aka California Truck Jamboree. This is 97. This is the original, which was the August show. Of course, they did come out with the spring, and that was in May each year. These were one-day shows, and probably maybe the most epic one-day shows ever. Here you see the two cover trucks we recently went over. You know, one-day shows don't get enough love. This one here was on August 10th, 97. And for this one to be as big as it was, you got the Blazer. That one I kind of forgot about, this Blazer. I don't think that's the West Coast Customs one, right? But this one, wow, I forgot about that. I think that one was featured in Truckin'. Ruben's Toyota there. Ruben Arteaga, the 89. Here you have, we tagged the owner of this one whenever we post video. Master Image Customs, I believe. I think that was the one, the MIC. Here you got Colorado Custom. So this is back in the day. Man, Ed Eister, shout out to him again. Ed, big supporter. I was chatting with him the other day, and he reminded me when this rig was in Tampa in 98, I believe. He'll probably chime in the comments, but I think he has shared photos, and we've shared that in the past. California Custom, look at that. Bikes, before they were super popular, like how they are now. A lot of guys have lowrider bikes, or my buddy Tony's got a huge one with graphics on it, you know, lowrider bike that is. So the worldwide directory, not going to spend a lot of time there. Again, if you need to, you could bump this to 4K and zoom in. Here you got Mini Truckin' Diary, Wyatt Strange. And remember, Mini Truckin' Diary did span between Courtney and Clint Walker. So, you know, that's worth noting. Here you got KMC again, we kind of mentioned recently. I think they had the S10 in there for the majority of the time. What do you guys think about this issue so far? Leave a comment. Any intel that you have. Anything that maybe I say incorrectly. Certainly appreciate folks chiming in. Here you got Oh So Smooth. And super clean truck. Again, topless, even wire wheels, static drop. Kind of the later end of those mirrors being maybe in style. But man, look how clean this truck is. I'd rock this any day of the week. Reminds me of just the era of how clean these trucks were. Sal Bertacci, Louisiana. Check that out. You got a disc changer in the dash. Full interior. Damn, phone. Super clean. I'd rock that any day. Here you got the Cruise Fest Nationals 97. Great coverage. Of course, you got color photos, which is always good. And then still not in color yet. We'll talk about when we get to that issue. The next cover truck's pretty cool. Something different. So we'll be hitting that one soon, hopefully. And wrapping it up there. Colorado Custom ad, the West Coast Custom Blazer. Here's their online when I mentioned this recently when they were really pushing that. They kind of go through some different phases. I think some of the magazines are still doing that today. If you think about where everything is now, it's online. I did make a comment recently. It does kind of worry me, though. You know, I think even a lot of enthusiasts may not, dare I say, even buy magazines. Just a different era. We'll see. Hopefully they stick around. I love the Custom Trucks mag from Japan. Here's Clint Walker. Many of you guys know him. I think he's big into firearms now. I think he's made a huge, you know, had a lot of success, rather, I should say, in that space. MTV, Best of You MTV Rap, Snoopy's. I'm the real dog everyone's talking about. Snoopy's, not Snoop Dogg. And here you go. Check that out. That's some old apparel there. And then here, Mini Trucking Magazine's Movie of the Month. Happy Thanksgiving. Okay. So yeah, again, check out our website, ourlifestylepodcast.com. Order before we're out of those shirts. Would certainly appreciate you guys snagging an order. I don't think we're going to really be vending at any more shows this year. Grounded for Life, super clean hard body, Phantom Grill, that front Toyota bumper. Some people always say, why did guys start running the other bumper? And it's like, I don't know. Is it just to switch things up? Maybe. Grounded for Life. Got some more ads that were typical in the back. And then look, you know, just when you kind of think it's over and you're getting towards the back, you go, damn, you have Summerfest 97. So like I said, this one didn't have as many features as some of the issues, but damn good show coverage. You got the lower level Sphinx truck. I do believe it's still around. That topper, though. Charles Armstrong's had, and others had reminded me that on the hood, even though there was a, I'll say some nudity, he did paint something that had magnets, and they could put it over the cleavage, whatever you want to call it, the breasts, at shows to keep it family friendly. There's Ratty's Custom Upholstery, and they talk about 1988 Mazda B2200 Cab Plus. There you go. Super clean, hot rod style themed. And the Pro Hopper. So, I stand corrected. I do have the calendar from that year. You can kind of see here again, this cover. Does anybody have one without the cover ripped? I have two. One is totally missing the cover. And of course, I knew when I started this journey that I couldn't have that issue to go through. This is one that I've replaced. I forget if this one came from Thomas Cardinal or Jason Redden or who, but stay on the rise, you guys. I appreciate all the support. Have a safe weekend. Remember, September 11th is coming up, so rest in peace to the fallen. Be thankful for what we got, and let's keep on keeping on. Keeping Mini Trucking alive, as James from #Mini Movement would say. We out you. Peace.